ho! Merry Retro, everybody! It's Parallax Abstraction, and welcome to the 2015 Christmas episode of Retro Flashback, showcasing gaming's roots for a new generation. So I pondered quite a bit on what game I wanted to show off this year. I kind of did the two most popular weird Christmas games last year. There's plenty of other ones, but I came across this one and I thought this would be interesting. So this is Santa and Rudolph Do Christmas. Get your mind out of the gutter, it's crowded down here. That's not what this game is about. This is a freeware game that came out in 1993 for the Amiga from, as you can see at the top there, Ian West and John Eggleton. And it's actually pretty cool for a little freeware fun project. It's a single screen sort of platform action game, and it's actually pretty tough, but pretty fun actually. It's it's also simplistic, but it's fun in its way. So I thought this would be kind of fun to show off here. So you get to choose either a very terrified looking Rudolph who looks like he's seen some crap, or a really nefarious kind of evil looking Santa. But each of these guys actually has their own levels, so you actually probably do want to play as both if you want to experience everything. Level 1, make your presence felt. Get it? Oh, it's killer. So yeah, here we are. Your goal in Santa and Rudolph Do Christmas is to fly around the level with your balloon that you can control, with your gun, and your goal is to kill the enemies that stand in your way while grabbing the various presents that come flying onto the screen out of the ether and deliver them to the various houses. Doing all these things gets you points, and that's sort of your main objective. Why are Santa and or Rudolph saving Christmas by themselves on a self-navigating balloon and doing it with a firearm? Listen, don't worry about it, okay? Some stuff happened, some mistakes were made, but Christmas must go on, and you gotta do what you gotta do, okay? It was a really bad thing. Look, just don't worry about it, all right? We got this. We got this. Yeah, I don't get it either, but I don't know. There's no story or premise to this game at all, at least not that I could find, and I don't really care. It leads to some interesting mechanics. So this is a score attack arcade game. I actually don't know how many levels there are, but I got to at least level 5 before, so to me it actually feels like playing as Santa is harder, even though as far as I can tell he controls the same way, but that may just be me. So as you can see, each level is different, and you'll actually get the different environments. After you finish here in the Arctic, you actually go to Egypt, which is kind of interesting. So there's a number of different enemies here. You got the birds, you got the snowmen, which actually look really happy, but which you still have to murder. And you got these frackin' penguins. And the thing with these penguins is, as far as I can tell, other than the fact that they fly around and actually seek towards you, you can't kill them as best as I can tell. So you just gotta kind of get around them. Your hitbox is pretty large, so if anything comes even remotely near you, you'll probably take a hit. All it does is pop your balloon, but you do have limited lives, obviously. And you can see there's a limit to how many presents you have. So you can only carry one present at a time. New ones will not come in until you drop off one of the ones you got. Ah, screw you. You can still collect them when you're dying, as you can see. There's also a time limit on the level. If you take too long, the world kind of goes into this post-apocalyptic nuclear state. Maybe I'll show you this here. And all the enemies that are on screen turn into these really evil little looking... They look like mini nukes with sunglasses. Don't worry about it, I said. And you can keep playing, but they seek towards you very, very quickly. And you're pretty much guaranteed to not last long. So there they are. Yep. I don't get it either. Don't worry about it. And as you can see here, as you go on... So this is Where's My Mummy? Oh, God, that's gonna make so much sense when you see the level. It's just, check it out. Check it out. Oh, it's Egypt! Get it, Mummy? Ah, it's killer. And yes, there's a Kula truck driving around that gets in your way. Also, there's aliens. Don't worry about it, all right? Things happen. Christmas got weird. It's, you know, it happens sometimes, but the kids need their presents. Even the kids that are living in their post-apocalyptic nuclear invasion pyramid-based fallout shelters. They need presents, damn it. Christmas will not be interrupted. I don't know. But this is actually kind of fun. You know, it's a very simplistic game, obviously. But at the time in we died there. But in 1993, also, I don't know who this dude is, but Christmas is his. He's got some rad shades, and he looks like a real bastard, doesn't he? Yeah, I know. Kind of looks like he's flipping you the bird there, but that's actually not his middle finger. Clever art design. So you can enter a high score. And you just jump back here. Also, yeah, I don't know why the title music for this is Mr. Sandman, which is not a Christmas song at all, but, you know, public domain tracks, you gotta do what you gotta do. Though, I think the music in the game itself is actually pretty good. So let's switch over to Santa here. You know, it's not the most advanced Amiga music in the world, but it's not bad. It's a pretty good reproduction of the song there. Also, I just love these little voice samples. One, it implies that Santa has a very high-pitched voice, like he's been huffing, I was about to say heroin. Not heroin. Heroin is not what makes you do that. Helium. That's what makes you do that. They both start with an H. Leave me be. And, yeah, and it also implies that Rudolph, you know, talks at all, but, you know, what are you gonna do? So actually, now that I notice this, the levels are called different things, but actually they don't seem to be that different. I recognize these from Rudolph, so maybe they're actually just named differently and they're not actually different, which is kind of a bummer. Also, yeah, sometimes that's your incentive to kill enemies. You not only get points for killing enemies, but they sometimes drop power-ups to give you ridiculous bonuses like that. So you saw that $10,000, like, coconut drink, I guess, that fell from the sky. Santa likes his pina coladas, alright? Have you seen what's happened to the world? It's been pretty friggin' rough, alright? Give the dude a break. He needs a drink sometimes too. Whoa, my score was wigging out there. I don't know if you saw that. So I am actually playing this through the newly released Amiga Forever 2016 emulator, which I may actually do a review video on at some point. So you see there how like the background was sort of kind of comes in weird and does this weird stretch along the side of the screen, and the animations were a little jittery. That may be the game, but that may also be the emulator, so those are not necessarily faults against the game, though also it's a freeware game, so I mean, who are we to complain, really, right? So, as you can see here, I don't know, it feels like when you play as Santa that there's more enemies and such. The levels actually are very similar. Maybe they're coming in a different order, I'm really not sure. But to me, it actually does feel a little bit like these levels are harder. Like I said, I could be totally off base about that, but that's what it feels like. But it's pretty impressive in that, there's a lot of variety in here. The levels change, the enemies change, the enemies all have different mechanics. Like, for a tiny little freeware game, this is actually pretty good. There was a lot of commercial products on the Amiga and computers like it that were not necessarily as advanced as this one, and they certainly didn't perform as well. This does some stuff like that weird, like that level drop-in animation and stuff like that. That's actually some little snazzy programming stuff on the Amiga's part. That's pretty interesting. Okay, level 4, Mean Streets. Oh, okay, we're in a city now. I love Santa Sea. Okay, so we've got the same enemies here that we did in the Egypt levels. I actually haven't made it this far in Santa's campaign, but it is a different area. So the levels are not necessarily different, but you do play in a different order, so that's kind of cool. So you can mix things up a little bit depending on what character you choose to play as. That's neat. I'm glad someone has some respect for Santa Claus, because, man, this dude has apparently seen some crap with how the world has gone down. It's just, I don't know. When he's got to get around on a balloon, like, I guess... Oh, God. Like, all his other reindeer... I guess all his other reindeer died or something, and I don't know. Maybe he found some friggin' mad scientist who came up with this balloon thing for him and handed him this Duke Nukem-style gun. I don't know, but... It's good to know there's still some love for him in the world. Oh, God! Oh, God! Oh, God! Oh, God! Oh, no. No, 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 no. Right. I had to drop that present off. Oh, God. I basically hadn't dropped off any presents yet! Ugh. I got one left. Can I do this? Let's see. Because these things, yeah, those little weird shaded nukes are not killable. So as you can see, you can play the level without, with them if there aren't too many around. It's tricky. All right, there we go. Music just slows down. But yeah, I don't know. I had never played this except for about, maybe 10 minutes before I started recording. Oh, those things look nasty. I hadn't played this at all until about 10 minutes before I started recording. I didn't even know this existed until today, and it's pretty neat for a little freeware game that anybody could play themselves. I mean, if you have an Amiga emulator, you could pick this up anywhere online if you just search for Santa and Rudolph Do Christmas. Screw you, man. If you search for Santa and Rudolph Do Christmas, you can pick this up yourself, and I mean, you could download the disc image, and actually, if you have the right tools, you could just put that onto an Amiga disc image as well and play it yourself if you like. So it's actually pretty fun. I'm enjoying this. I might screw around with this for a little while longer. I imagine it's probably not a super long game because, again, it was, you know, it was free, but it's entertaining, and it's cute, and it was like, hey, we want to make a Christmas action game, and we want to make it the way we want to make it, so let's just throw all pretensions of how Christmas normally works out the window, because, hey, we want a game where you can fly around in a balloon with a gun and shoot things while delivering presents. So these two dudes were just like, you know what, let's just make something like that and whatever. And, you know, I can always respect that. I can dig people who sort of have their own vision, if you will, and they want to stick with a certain subject matter, but they also want to do it their own way and just do their own artistic interpretation, if you will. And I can dig that. Shoot. I think that's cool. So this is a fun little thing, and I'm glad I picked this up because there are there are a decent number of Christmas games out there, but a lot of them are really bad, and you know, the kind of thing you would play only to laugh at. And to be honest, when I first saw this, I kind of figured that's what it would be, but it's actually pretty fun. And it's free, which is also nice. These guys, they did a good job, and they made something kind of neat and cool that's Christmassy, but in its completely own way. And you know, I can always get behind that. So I think this is pretty fun. And yeah, if you just search for Santa and Rudolph Do Christmas on Google, you can find plenty of places that have disc images of this. This was a free game, so it's legit to download and emulate if you want. And yeah, I'm playing through the Amiga Forever 2016 edition emulator, which is not free. Well, there is a free version. I'm not sure how it's limited, but there is a version out there that you can play this on, and there are also free emulators as well. So, but yeah, check it out. I think it's fun. So yeah, that is Santa and Rudolph Do Christmas for the Amiga, developed by Ian West and John Eggleton, released in 1993. It's a fun little thing, and these guys did a good job and actually made a pretty fun game, and it makes no sense whatsoever, but hey, who cares, right? My name is Parallax Abstraction. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you liked what you saw here, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. That does help me out a great deal. And thank you to everyone for hanging out this year on the channel. My channel has experienced a decent amount of growth this year, and I still love doing this, and I've got a really good community of regulars. You guys make this all worthwhile, so thank you very much. I really can't thank you enough, and I hope to do a lot more of this next year. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, and I will see you guys all very, very soon. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.